It is without debate, Judge. All three of these people were chasing Kyle Rittenhouse. All of them. That is not debatable. So for them to say the fact that he has, or they believe he has some tie to this organization, without any information that in fact that's the reason that this happened, it doesn't move the ball further down in terms of making something more or less probable, a consequence of fact. If they can't show that this shooting was related to that and argue that's the reason it wasn't in self-defense, I don't think they move the ball.
All right. The court also, denied that motion. The state wants to know about who contributed money to pay for Kyle Rittenhouse's bail, wanting a list of donors, asking the court to compel these private citizens to release that information. The judge said, I don't believe I have the legal authority to do that. Let's bring in now our guest analysts on the program today. Two great guests for you. Still with us in Minneapolis, Minnesota, criminal defense attorney Joe Tamburino, and joining us this hour in Akron, Ohio, criminal defense attorney Don Malarsic. Great to have you both. Don, since we're welcoming you at this point, I want to get your take first on what we saw in this hearing, the court's rulings, anything that you disagreed with, please.
Wow. Yeah. There was a lot. I'm concerned about this judge's attitude with respect to the jury selection process, his unwillingness to consider a jury questionnaire, which I think I agree with both sides, really is helpful for not only the lawyers to determine who potentially could sit on this jury, but also the court. You want to know as much as you can before these jurors sit in the seat what their views and attitudes are. I was deeply concerned about some of the rulings that the court was making from the bench about limiting the attorney's ability to ask questions of the potential jurors about their support for specific groups. Obviously, Black Lives Matter versus do you support the police? I mean, those are crucial, key beliefs that these jurors bring to the courtroom that you have to explore, you have to know about. And the idea, I thought I heard him say, Julie, that he believes that jury selection can occur in one day. When I heard that, I just about fell out of my chair. I mean, you're going to have to question these jurors about pretrial publicity, and both sides, I think, are correct. That's something you have to do individually. You can't ask a potential juror in front of 150 other people, well, what did you hear about this case, and what opinions have you formed? That potentially taints the entire pool. So I'm concerned that the court has this attitude that, I've done this before, I've tried more murder cases than anybody on the bench, and I got this under control. This is going to be unlike any trial this judge has ever participated in. I can assure you of that.
Don, I'm with you. Excellent point you just made. Joe Tamburino, want to go to you next. I know we have to let you go at the top of the hour, and we talked a bit before the judge came back from that break, took about a 15-minute break after hearing some of the arguments. Tell me, hearing what we heard in the latter half of today's hearing, what was jumping out at you? What did you disagree with or agree with, if anything, please?
I think he's an excellent judge. I disagree with the issue of not having a jury questionnaire, and hopefully he'll actually come around to that, because I think it would be very helpful in this case. But everything else, this is an old school get to the bottom line judge. He says this case shouldn't be political. It shouldn't happen. Anything outside of the courtroom shouldn't be considered. He's saying basically, look, we're going to look at the facts of what happened in August of 2020. I like his rulings. I think he's a no BS type of judge, and I think he's going to conduct a very good trial.
I'm with you there, Joe. Great points.